Welcome to yarnspirations.com. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about the fringe for the Highline Crochet Super Scarf. Now, if you look at the instructions, it tells you to cut pieces of yarn that are 20 inches long, which is about yo big. Now, you could lay out a ruler or a yardstick and measure that way, but it's much easier to take a piece of 10-inch cardboard, wrap the yarn around as many times as you need pieces of fringe, and then just cut off the bottom. So I'm holding the bottom towards my thumb. It's okay if it hangs out a little bit extra because you can even it up once you get it on. And I'm going to wrap the yarn around and around my piece of cardboard till I get as many pieces of fringe as I need. I don't want it to be too tight because I don't want it to snap back and be short. And I don't want it to be too loose because then they'll all come out different lengths. When I have as many strands as I want, it would be more than this, I'm going to cut off the working yarn and then just slide the tip of my scissors along the edge of the cardboard and cut. And that gives me as many strands as I will need to make my fringe. To move forward, now I have to attach my fringe. I want it to look nice and neat and even. I'm going to use the same color as the stitching I'm attaching it to, and I'm going to make it evenly spaced across. So let's get started with that. To do this, I'm going to use a big fat crochet hook. Now, the crochet hook does not have to be the same size as the crochet hook you stitched the scarf with. You just want a big fat crochet hook so that you can use the multiple strands of yarn. Since I'm working with Bernat Softy Chunky, that's a pretty thick yarn. I want to make sure my hook head is capable of holding it all. So I've already begun. As you can see, I've placed some of the fringe already on. So I'm going to pick a spot. Got to make sure that my hook is under more than one loop, because if I go just under one loop, that's not very sturdy, and as I wear the scarf it could pull. So I'm going to go under 2 loops. I'm going to fold 4 20-inch strands in half together. I'm going to use the crochet hook to pull the 4 strands together through the work. And at this point, I could give up on the crochet hook because it's a little hard to get that many strands through. So I'm going to insert my fingers through the loop, grab all 8 strands, which is 4 strands, fold it over, makes 8, and pull it. Once I'm sure it's exactly where I want it and it's relatively even, I can tighten it up so that it looks like the other knots that I have done. Let's do that one more time. I'm moving to the next spot. I'm making sure that my hook is under more than one loop. I'm picking up 4 strands of the same color as the stitching and folding them in half. I'm going to use the crochet hook to pull all 4 strands through the work. And again, I can use my crochet hook, but I often find it easier to just use my fingers, reach my fingers through the loop, make sure I have all 8 strands, and then I'm going to pull it up tight. Make a nice firm knot so it stays in place. So on one side of the work, it looks like a little straight across thing going on. And on the other side of the work, the side we were working from, you can see the 2 sides going into the loop. So you want to make sure you don't flip back and forth when you're putting the fringe on. You want to put all your fringe on facing the same direction of the scarf so that it looks even all the way across. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great time making the Highline Crochet Scarf, and we'll see you again on yarnspirations.com.